Just a few small tweaks can more than double your Etsy sales. See the tiny details that helped one digital Etsy store grow twice as fast as their almost identical competitor. Yikes. Hi, I'm Jess. I've built multiple 6- and 7-figure Etsy stores in various niches, getting sales like these and learning the ins and outs of Etsy, Amazon, and more. A wild and crazy event led me to start a totally new life traveling abroad, giving me the unique opportunity to step back, work a lot less, and start sharing all of my Etsy insights with you. So hit that subscribe button, grab a pen and paper, and let's jump in.
Hey, hello. Welcome back to Insights by Jess. This is an all-out digital Etsy store showdown. But there is a clear winner. So we are going to take a peek at a few small changes that are helping the winning store more than double the sales of their biggest competitor. This video is so crazy. Normally, I would do the Etsy store stats right now, but today, just to have a little fun, we're going to change it up a bit. So first, we're going to take a quick peek at their storefronts and a bestseller listing so that you can see how crazy similar these two stores are. Once we take a peek at their storefronts and their bestseller, you get to guess which store you think is the highest seller. So let's look at the main store page of mystery store number 1. This store is actually based in Texas. And as you can see, they have some really, really cute designs here. Very, very cool. Very cute. This is mystery store number 2 based in Arizona. And as you can see, they have a lot of these popular messages here. And they have very, very similar style, similar aesthetic to this storefront. Now, it gets even more similar when we look at their bestsellers. So this is a bestseller. This has been bought 6 times in the last 24 hours. So pretty popular. And it's really adorable. It's editable and it has some key features here like this very cute little brown teddy bear, a little Hello World plaque, blocks that say baby, a onesie that has a name, of course, this personalizable board in the center here, some moccasins, and a little baby rattle, plus blankets and all of that good stuff. But if we look at this bestseller here, we see a lot of those exact same elements. This teddy bear is very, very similar. We have the personalized onesie. We have almost the same rattle, a Hello World circle, baby in woodcut letters instead of blocks, more moccasins, and of course they both have a little ultrasound. And if I actually pull these side by side here, you can see how similar they really are to one another. So they've both sold this listing 6 times in the last 24 hours, which I think is hilarious. But they are really, really, really similar. The layout is similar. There's some clear differences if you're really looking at them, but the general aesthetic is the same. This store actually just ended their sale. It was on sale for, I believe it was 1065, and that's going to be important in just a minute. But now that you've seen both of their storefronts and both of their main listings, I want you to guess which one you think is the best seller without knowing their sales stats. So this is store A, the store that is on sale. And this here we're going to call store B with all of these popular messages. Knowing not hardly much about either of these stores, type down in the comments below and guess which one you think sells more. If you guess that store A sells more, you were wrong. But if you guess that store B sells more, you win the grand prize of being awesomely correct today. So now comment below and tell me if you guessed right. But all games aside, we're going to actually look at the store stats and see exactly why store B, also known as Tinsel Shop Designs, is totally kicking butt compared to store A, which is called Sugar Daddy Designs Co., despite having such similar products. They have 37,562 sales. They actually have a standard price of about 10.65, sometimes 11. But I gave both of these stores a standard sales price, an average listing price of $10, just to be conservative and to be fair, since they do seem to have such head-to-head pricing. So, with an average price of $10, let's see how long this store has been open. If we go to their feedback and scroll down to their very oldest feedback here, we can see that this store actually got its start with print-on-demand mockups way back, not too far back actually, in April 29 of 2020. So we're looking at about a almost 3.5-year-old store, which is pretty impressive. That puts their approximate annual sales at about $112,600 a year. So very cool. Very, very cool. That is not, unfortunately for them, the most impressive stats though, because Tinsel Shop Designs actually has 41,051 sales. And of course, we're going to keep that average product price of $10. Like I said earlier, this is $13.31, but it's typically on sale. It was on sale when I first found the store. It was on sale when I did the outline for this store. And I will put a little pop-up and let you know if when I'm editing this, it's back on sale again. But so far, it's been on sale. It looks like to me, from what I'm seeing, the sale has just ended, and possibly there's a little gap between their sales pricing. But we're not talking about sales. We're talking about how much money they make. So let's go down to their feedback and see when their oldest feedback is. Now, the cool thing about this store is, even though it says they've been on Etsy since 2021, they didn't actually get their first feedback until February of 2022. So probably they might have opened their store in the very end of 2021 and started putting listings up, but their actual sales started coming through around February. That makes them almost 2 years newer than the other store. So this store's been around for about a year and a half, as opposed to 3.5 years. So very, very big time difference here, especially since this store, even though it's 2 years newer, has more sales. And because it actually has 41,000 sales, when you divide that amongst the time they've been open at a $10 price point, that puts their approximate annual sales at $273,600 a year, which is way higher than Sugar Daddy's 112,000. So that is definitely a clear difference in sales. And considering how similar these are, that is a big, big deal. So let's actually dig into these bestsellers a little bit and see what is going on and why Tinsel Shop Designs is really, really dominating. Now, before I show you their SEO and their images and all that good stuff, I do want to point something out. These stores aren't really doing a whole heck of a lot on social media. They do have a little bit of social media presence, but from what I was able to find, Sugar Daddy Designs has a decent Instagram account. It has 47 followers and 19 posts, so it looks like fairly new. Their oldest post is actually from April of 2021, so it's not fairly new. It's just not very active. They haven't really done much with it at all. They do, however, have a Pinterest that has 488 followers, and they are utilizing Pinterest a little bit better. They have more pins here. If you guys are not using Pinterest for your social media, go get this Pinterest pin. It is super helpful. And all you have to do is literally click on the pin and you can choose these images. Click next, choose the board you want to pin it to, and that's it. Etsy will add the rest of this in. It'll add the links, it'll add the title. Everything you need is set to go. It's literally a few seconds of your time. You should try to do this every morning when you first start working. Okay, that little aside said, they do have a pretty decent amount of pins here. Pencil Shop, on the other hand, they only have a Pinterest account. It has 26 followers, and they do have some pins on here, which is great. It goes down for a while. They are really doing a good job of adding pins, hopefully with their pin extension, but I could not find a Facebook or an Instagram or a TikTok for them. I did not find anything other than Instagram and Pinterest for sugar daddy designs either. So social media is not a massive source of traffic that is generating sales for Tinsel shop designs. And I did want to point that out because I know sometimes you do get curious what is going on outside of Etsy. And I can't always see what they're doing outside of Etsy, but I do try to look for any obvious signs of marketing somewhere else in case I can point out smart strategies for you guys. So let's actually go into these listings here. Now, looking at Sugar Daddy Designs bestseller, we can see I've already kind of showed you their main image here. They have a pretty good video here that shows how easy it is to edit this. It's very straightforward. They've sped it up a little bit to show that it really doesn't take a lot of work. You can change the fonts, the wording, all of that good stuff. You can change the ultrasound picture, easy peasy. Then they have another main image here, an infographic image, another infographic image. These are just kind of how it works, and they're very, very similar images. They do highlight down here that they use actual props, which I think is fantastic, but this is a lot of information on both of these images, so I would probably have tried to simplify that just a little bit. However, the next image highlights even more that they use real props and that they do pay attention to detail. They've also differentiated themselves by saying that other shops use digital dropped in images that gives the design a photoshopped look, and that they're using an actual professional image. So I think that's really smart that they are highlighting that benefit. Then they have a how it works image, a please note image that gives important information that they need to know, and then what exactly can be personalized. Now, I did notice that these are a little bit hard to read. It looks like they have squished this text in here to fit it in the notebook. So it does kind of hurt my eyes. I am getting a little bit old, y'all, and so I do need reading glasses now. So that may play a factor. But that is something to keep in mind. This is really, really, really busy. A lot of times people aren't going to stop and read all of this text because it is super, super busy. Now, let's take a look at their actual SEO. Here they have, right off the bat, it says neutral pregnancy announcement digital. And then they're using bars to kind of separate their phrases. And then boho baby announcement, social media, Facebook, Instagram, editable template, our next adventure. Now, I love these bars. I am a big fan of putting bars, commas, or slashes in your title. Typically, what I would do for my own personal title is have my main most important phrase, a space, a bar, a space, and then instead of using additional bars, I would just use a comma because that comma takes up one space, whereas the bar takes up two because you need a space and then the bar and then the space instead of just a comma and a space. So I do want to point that out. But this is a well done title. They've really made it easy for your eyes to see what this is and pull out these important phrases. They also are targeting that it is for social media, Facebook, Instagram. So that is going to be an important differentiation because if we look at this bestseller, they say pregnancy announcement, digital neutral baby announcement. Now, that's a little bit different of wording than this one, which just says neutral pregnancy announcement digital. So that's a slight difference. Then they say girl, gender, reveal, boy, announce, pregnancy, editable template, social media reveal. So they are putting emphasis on different words. They do say social media here, just like this one, but they're not wasting space by saying Facebook and Instagram. Now, this is important because when you are creating your titles and choosing your keywords, you want to be thinking about what a buyer is going to type into that Etsy search bar when they look for products to buy. Probably they're not looking for a baby announcement for Facebook. They probably are looking for a digital baby announcement. They might say social media announcement, but they're probably not saying baby announcement Instagram. So you do want to kind of get into the frame of mind of someone actually trying to buy this product. And I know that can be a little bit tricky. We're a little bit biased since we created the product, but we do want to keep that in mind. The next thing that I wanted to point out here is that they are putting genders in here. Even though this is a neutral baby announcement, they are putting girl and boy in here. This one does not have girl or boy in here. That is another massive difference because a lot of people are going to search for baby announcement for boys or baby announcement for girls. And there are going to also be a lot of people that are looking for gender neutral baby announcements because either they don't want to know the gender or they aren't concerned about the gender. There's lots of reasons why neutral pregnancy announcements are important. But for those buyers that are typing in a boy pregnancy announcement or a girl pregnancy announcement, this listing is not going to capture those searches, whereas this listing will capture those searches. So that's also important. Last but not least, the other difference I'm going to point out is that this one also says gender reveal. That is important. This one does not say anything about a gender reveal. That's important because a gender reveal is a different event, a different announcement than a pregnancy announcement, right? A pregnancy announcement is when you tell everybody, hey, I'm pregnant, it's so exciting, whatever, whatever. But you generally, even if you want to know the gender of a baby, you don't find that out until later, towards the middle of your pregnancy. So that's a totally separate thing. And this is the only one of these two sellers that is going to be capturing those searches as well. So if a buyer is looking for a gender reveal announcement, this listing will pop up. And unfortunately, Sugar Daddy Designs Co. listing is not going to pop up. So we can see that right off the bat, Tinsel Shop Designs is catching a lot more buyers and a lot more searches. That is huge, huge, huge difference that I wanted to point out right off the bat. Let's take a look at the images for Tinsel Shop Designs. We can see this beautiful design here. They also have a great video. It's also sped up. They do make it look easy. I'm not actually as big of a fan of this particular video as I am a fan of the Sugar Daddy Co video because you can't even read the beginning words. They're just so fast that there's no way to catch that. And this is not the same design as this video. This video has the same design as what you're editing. So I do think that that's a little bit of a difference because it can put people off when they see something different here than what they're actually trying to buy. I don't think that's that big of a deal, but when you take into account that they have a lot of fast words here, it does make a difference. The other big change that I noticed about the video here is if we go back to Sugar Daddy's video, they have it really cropped in so that the focus is on the picture itself. You're not really worrying about what's going on the side. You can see them making the changes, but the focus is here on the actual design. The opposite is true on this video. The focus is on the actual platform and the design in the center is a lot smaller. So I do think that there's some room for improvement in the video itself. Obviously, the video is not a massive driver of sales. So continuing on, we see another mock-up in a square shape, and they have how it works. I want to point out that this is a very clean, simple image. It's aesthetically pleasing and it's easy to read. It's not all bunched together. The font is really clear. It looks really nice, and I can clearly differentiate with the bullet points and the spaces what each of these phrases is saying. Moving on, we can see please note, and they say all the important things. This is a lot of text, of course, but it is a clearer font. It's a much simpler design. So when we're looking here, we see how it works. That's very busy. The text is squished. And please note, it's even busier. The text is squished, and there's so much else going on in the design that it is more overwhelming for the eyes to process compared to this one. Next, they have their what can be customized, same design here. These are all very streamlined designs. They look the same. They're very uniform. And then we see that typical cordial image here. Cordial gives you this image, so it's pretty easy to add it to your listings. And if you haven't already seen it, I do have a video that talks about the differences and compares the pros and cons between cordial, template, and Canva for selling personalized digital products. So make sure to go check that out. I'll put the card up at the top for you. Moving on to the next image, we can see they have gone one step further past what Cordial gives you, and they created their own image that says you can customize right on your browser. They have it shown in a laptop. It's clean, it's clear, it's easy to see, which is not the case here, where they have added the personalized touch here of putting an image actually in here, but it's very, very busy. And of course, it looks squished up here as well. This is a lot cleaner, a lot more clear. This image here is genius. I'm just going to point out, I love this image because the purpose of this product is to post this image on your social media, right? You're doing a massive pregnancy announcement to all your friends and family. Where are you going to post it? You're going to post it on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever else you use. What they are doing here is helping you visualize what happens when you post it on social media. You're going to get hearts and you're going to get congrats messages. And what this does in real life, when we get likes and we get comments on our social media, it triggers dopamine. It triggers a reward boost in our brains. It's a chemical that makes us happy and gets us excited. And it is also very addicting, meaning we want more and more and more of it. Well, this image is simulating that experience. So it may not be as strong as getting real likes and real comments, but it's getting your brain to imagine those likes and imagine those comments. So it is simulating that experience of that dopamine boost, and you're automatically going to want to buy this because they are associating this product with those reward feelings, those happy feelings. That is super powerful, which reminds me of another video I have all about using buyer psychology, or some people call it sales psychology, to get more sales. So if you haven't seen that one, that card will be up at the top here as well. But this is genius. And just to take it one little step further, an added bonus, they have said that you can also print this at your nearest print store. So this is another selling feature of this product, but the power of the visual likes and comments here is the most powerful feature of this image. Then they give you one more mock-up, then a very, very simple thank you image, which just rounds out their 10 images there, and it kicks back to the main product image. So very smart use of their images and a lot of key differences over that other shop that is not selling as well. So scrolling down to the description here, we're going to take a peek at some differences here. Now I'm going to try to keep this brief because this video is probably getting long. But here we see a typo. It says, yay, you're having a baby. This is not the correct your. You technically want to use the you are having a baby. So you would need the your that has the apostrophe RE. So that goes back to checking through Grammarly to make sure that there's no typos. However, A bigger problem with this here is that it is not SEO optimized very well at all. There's virtually zero SEO optimization here in this description, which is important. It is important to have keywords in your description, especially at the beginning. So I'm actually going to open my Etsy SEO breakdown workbook. This goes with my SEO planning set. I do sell this. It is at the link in the product description. So be sure to check it out if you want to take your SEO planning up a notch or 10. But we're going to go to the description page because I want to show you the differences here. So we're going to, let me make this a little bigger so you guys can see it. Whoops, too big. So here we have, yay, you're having a baby. We're so happy for you. Share the news of your pregnancy with friends and family with our teddy bear next great adventure announcement. Now I have this cut off because the most important part of your description is the first 160 characters. That's the part that's going to generate for your Google listing when you pop up in Google search results, and it has the strongest emphasis in our SEO. So I want to show you that the only words they're really getting here is baby and pregnancy. That's not horrible, it's not bad, but when you compare it to the second one here, you see congratulations on your pregnancy. Share your news with this digital announcement. This edit yourself digital pregnancy template allows you to have your announcement within minutes of your purchase. So when we look at that in the description research page of my SEO workbooks, you can see we get that pregnancy, we get digital announcement, digital pregnancy template. Now, there's also edit yourself, which could be valuable for people typing in editable. I didn't highlight that one for you guys because it's edit and not editable, but I do want to point out that that's another potential word that could catch in the algorithm's eyes and help you rank a little bit higher for people searching for editable digital pregnancy announcements or digital pregnancy templates. So this is going to be a much stronger listing in terms of SEO than this one, just for those reasons alone. That being said, it is also more appealing because the first thing you're doing is saying, congratulations on your pregnancy. What does that do? That gets people excited. They're excited to be pregnant. They're excited to share with everybody that they are pregnant. So they've really capitalized on those feelings of excitement and wanting to share the news. This is like the text version of this image right here, right? They're simulating that excitement for you. They're getting you excited, but they're also keeping those important words in there. It could say, share your news with friends and family on social media, which is, I believe, what this one says. Yep, share the news of your pregnancy with friends and family. They chose instead to say, share the news with this digital announcement. It gives you the same general feeling of excitement, but it also has these keywords in there. So very, very important. And then, of course, it goes on. It's a little more technical, and it tells you you can edit this yourself and have your announcement within minutes of purchase. So these description intros are really, really well done. And I did want to point out those differences because we have 3 opportunities in our Etsy listing to really rank with SEO. That is going to be our title, of course, our tags, and lastly, we have our description intro. So those are really important. Now, in terms of tags, they are using pretty much the same tags for the most part. They have a lot of repetition, very similar tags. So pregnancy announcement, baby announcement, pregnancy announcement, digital, baby announcement, digital, digital pregnancy announcement, digital baby announcement, baby reveal, there's a unique one, pregnancy announcement, digital gender neutral, and pregnancy's announcement. That's a typo, but it's probably a common typo. And in case I haven't said it in a while, this is actually the related searches. So these may not be the direct tags that a seller is using, but like in the case of this one, which is obviously too long to be a tag, this is something that customers are typing into the search and then finding this product and purchasing this product. So you should always keep that into consideration and see that, okay, the words pregnancy announcement, digital gender neutral are important in terms of generating sales. So that is very important to keep in mind. This is pretty much on this listing for Sugar Daddy, the same kinds of words. It's pregnancy announcement, baby announcement. It looks like they literally just copy and pasted the same tags or pop up for most of the same searches. But these last two here, we can see some difference. So, pregnancy announcement grandparents and pregnancy announcement to husband. So, those are different, and it is interesting to note that we did not see those for the better selling product. So there's a lot of differences that I've pointed out between these two sellers. And even though it does look like they have so much similarity between their actual products and even between their pricing, there's actually a lot of differences when you boil down into the nitty-gritty aspects of how they did their SEO and their images and all of that good stuff. And really, the clear winner, Tinsel Shop Designs, that is a mouthful to say, is using buyer psychology to really get those sales conversions. They are really getting you excited to buy this product. Whereas, unfortunately, Sugar Daddy Designs Co., Sugar Daddy, yep, Designs Co., is not using those buyer psychology tactics very well compared to how Tinsel Shop Designs is using those. So again, I'm going to invite you, if you haven't seen my sales psychology video or it has been a while, go watch that video next.